Okay, guys, so welcome to this live stream. As you can see, this is the live stream for the Netherlands versus Japan. Ooh, and right now I'm seeing from the referee that it's the female Mexican referee. So that's good. You know, that more female referees can do games at the World Cup. But yeah, so right now they're walking onto the field to sing the national anthems. So if this is y'all's first time watching my live streams, I am doing a live watch along, although it does not say that in the title because I cannot show the match. But yeah, so I believe they had maybe like the ninth match or something like that of the World Cup so far. Well, yeah. I am going to do 4 trivia questions, maybe at the hydration breaks or a halftime if there's time, and if I do not go through all of them, then the rest I am going to do at the end of the match. So yeah, so if you guys are just coming in, my name is Juan and I am the host. So comment down below, what's your prediction for this match? I'll say mine at the end or toward the more later part of the match. So now they are going to sing the Netherlands national anthem. And now the Japanese national anthem. So yeah, so those were the national anthems, and right now they are cutting to a break. But meanwhile, I will be saying that I kind of forgot what I was saying when they were about to play the national anthems. But let's see if I can remember. Let's see. So yeah, so as I said, there's going to be 4 trivia questions that I'm going to do at the times that I can ask them, such as the hydration breaks or halftime, or if I didn't go through all of them, then at the end of the match. Yeah, so I am going to be sitting down, when Japan has a ball. And as I've been saying in each live stream, I don't have anything against Japan. It's just that I'm not rooting for them in this World Cup. But also, I'm not saying that I want them to do bad, not that either. I'm just not rooting for them. and also because I don't want to be standing the whole match, which I did do yesterday because two of the countries that I support also played, which is Brazil versus Morocco. But yeah. So if you guys are just coming if you guys are just coming in, comment down below what's your prediction for this match. I'll say mine's more later at the end of the match or toward the more latter part. So Bart Weberhen, Mickey van de Ven, Virgil van Dijk, John Paul van Heck, Denzel Dumfries, Frankie de Jong, T. Johnny Will Genders, Ryan Gravenberch, Cody Gakpo, Daniel Mallon, and Crescencio Somerville. I believe that's him. Yeah. That was for the Netherlands. And now for Japan. Zion Suzuki, Hiroki Ito, Shogo Tanyushi, Tetsuyoshi Watanabe, Keito Nakamura, Daichi Kamada, Kaoshu Sano, Ritsu Doan, Daisen Mayada, Kayase Ueda, and Take Fusa Kubo. So I'm sorry if I mispronounce any of those names, but it's because they were going pretty fast. But yeah, so as I was saying, I am going to say my predictions toward the more later part of the match or at the end. And I'm not gonna change it. I already have my prediction, but I just want to say it more later. Yeah, so right now any second now the match will start. Come on, come on, Netherlands. I know that you can win this match. Okay, so now they are in possession. And player did a long ball, but now Japan has the ball. And they are trying to do a fast counter attack in the very first minutes of the match, but then the Netherlands regained possession, and they're also trying to do a fast counter attack. But then a Japanese defender clears the ball, but then a Dutch defender tries to get the ball and makes a Japanese fall, and the Japanese wants foul, but they didn't call no foul. So now the Netherlands are in possession. Van Dijk, Van Dijk to their goalkeeper. Van Dijk, Van Dijk, and then a long ball, but then a Japanese player clears it, but then it goes to a Dutch player. To the Jong. Dumfries. And right now the Dutch are trying to attack. De Jong. De Jong. Dumfries. Dumfries. I think that was Van Dyke. And now now the Dutch have the ball in the box and they shoot it, but the Japanese goalkeeper did a great save. So corner for the Netherlands. So if you guys are just coming in, comment down below what's your prediction for this match. So Suzuki, I think that's how you say it, the Japanese goalkeeper. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name. Let's see, can the Netherlands go in the lead from this corner? And the shot is blocked and it goes out of bounds. So throw in for the Dutch. Yeah, Suzuki is how you say his name. Van Dyke. Dumfries. De Jong. And then some passes. And then, but they tried to do a long pass, but the ball went out wide. So goal kick for the Japanese. And right now they are showing Ronald Koeman, which is the Dutch coach, and and Suzuki does a long shot, and the Dutch bootlegger passes it to the goalkeeper, then he passes it to Van Dyke. Dumfries. Van Dyke. Dumfries. And now now the Japanese are trying to do a fast counterattack because they stole the ball from the Dutch. And then they commit a foul on a Japanese player. Can the Japanese take advantage of this free kick and score to go in the lead? We shall see. Kubo or someone else that I can't really see their name is going to kick it. And the ball went out of bounds or it was offside. So now goal kick for the Dutch. So to be exact, right now it's the 6th minute. Van Dijk has the ball to do the goal kick. Right now they are showing Hajime Moriyasu, which is the Japanese coach, and he had a long ball. But then the ball goes out of bounds on them, so a throw in for the Japanese. And then they committed a foul on the Japanese. So free kick once again, but from farther, basically from the halfway line. So now the Japanese are in possession. And they do a long ball to a Japanese player. But then the ball is cleared. But then the Japanese regain possession. Something interesting happened. That the Japanese like how I do it when I play the sport. That like sometimes I like lose the ball or like do a trick, but then the ball ends up behind me and I don't bring the ball. That's what I just saw a Japanese do. But yeah, so the ball went out of bounds. So goal kick for the Dutch, and once again Van Dijk does it, but then passes it to the goalkeeper to do a long ball. Then the Japanese clear the ball, and it goes out of bounds. So throw in for the Dutch, and it's passed to Van Dijk. Van Dijk, De Jong, Dumfries, De Jong, in which the Japanese are applying pressure to him. But he goes out of that pressure and passes it to Van Dijk. Van Dijk, Dumfries. Oh, no, that's not Dumfries. That's someone else. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Then the Japanese player clears the ball with their head and it goes out of bounds. So throw in for the Dutch. And once again, it's passed to Van Dijk. Van Dijk, Dumfries, Van Dijk. And the ball goes out of bounds. So goal kick for the Japanese. So Suzuki gives the ball to a Japanese player, and then that player passes it back to Suzuki. And then they do that sequence once again, and he does a long ball. And then and a Dutch player makes the ball go to the ground with their head, but then the Japanese regain possession, and they are trying to counter attack. Suzuki, yeah, that's the name of the goalkeeper of the Japanese. And so right now, Japan are in possession, and then Japan tried to go into the box and shoot, but the Dutch are not letting them. And then Van Dijk clears the ball, and so the Japanese pass back to Suzuki. Ito, So when now the Japanese are in possession, but the Dutch all day jump to the ball, so they're trying to do a fast counter attack, but then the Japanese gain back possession and pass it back to the goalkeeper Suzuki, who passes it back to a Japanese player. And so the Japanese are back in possession. Ito. And then they do a good long ball, but then Dumfries makes it go out of bounds. So corner for the Japanese, and it sees that Dyson, I believe that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Is going to take the corner. Not no, he's not gonna take the corner. Now see, can the Japanese score from this corner? And the shot is blocked, but the Japanese are still in possession. Ooh, and the Japanese almost made a shot on target and possibly a goal. Let's see this replay. Or was it outside, or what was this? Yeah, in which they threw about to the heart of the field, but then they touched like slight tackles, but I'm not really sure what's happened about goal kick for the Dutch, and Van Dijk has done the goal kick. And the ball goes out of bounds on the Japanese, so throw in for the Dutch, and it goes as always to Van Dijk. Van Dijk. Van Dijk. Van Dijk. De Jong. Van Dijk. And the ball went out of bounds on the Japanese, so once again, throw in for the Dutch. And it goes as always, sort of repeating to Van Dijk. De Jong. De Jong. And then it's passed back to Van Dijk. Somerville. And the Japanese clear the ball. So throw in for the Dutch, in which Somerville does it. Van Dijk. De Jong. Somerville. Van Dijk. De Jong. Van Dijk. Van Dijk. Van Dijk. And the Japanese intercept the pass and it goes out of bounds. So once again, throw in for the Dutch, and it's passed as I've been saying always to Van Dijk. De Jong. Dumfries. Somerville. And they pass into the heart of the box, and it's intercepted by the Japanese. And the ball goes out of bounds on the Dutch. So throw in for the Japanese. So now the Japanese are back in possession. Ito, I believe, or maybe not. I'm sorry if that was not Ito. And the ball is wrongly passed to Dutch player. So now they have regained possession. I believe that's Gakpo. And then the Dutch have a scoring opportunity, but then the Japanese could lead the ball, but then the Dutch regain possession. Then fries. De Jong. De Jong. De Jong. Gakpo. I believe that is, if I'm not mistaken. De Jong. Somerville. De Jong. Gakpo, I believe that is. Ooh, back to Gakpo and nice touches. But the goal is out of bounds for the Japanese, so a throw in for the Dutch. If if you guys have not already, share this live stream so that those who want to ask me questions or uh, about today's match or about any match in this World Cup can do it and comment it down below. So share this live stream and also so that they can see my reactions to this match. Gakpo, the Dutch are in possession. Van Dijk, Dumfries, but then they committed a foul on the Dutch. De Jong, Van Dijk. Well, no, I'm sorry, Van Dijk. Then to other, then, then to Gakpo, then back, then to Van Dijk. And then they had to do a ball, but then the Japanese player tried to clear it, and it's passed to their goalkeeper. Van Dijk, Gakpo, and they do a long one, but then they still possession from the Dutch. So now the Japanese are in possession. So to be exact, right now the so to be exact, right now the time is the 22nd minute. So now is the hydration break. So I am going to get my water real quick. But meanwhile, comment down below what's your prediction for this match. So yeah, guys. Since these hydration breaks are 3 minutes, I am going to ask the first trivia question. So the Netherlands and Japan have met once before on the sport's biggest stage, during the group stage of the 2010 World Cup. The Dutch won that close battle 1-0. Which which legendary midfielder scored the game winning goal? Comment down comment down your answer down below, and I'll answer it after the halftime song. So I'll leave it here on the screen up until halftime. So yeah, so if you guys are just coming into the live stream, comment down below what's your prediction for this match. Yeah, so now I think that the 3 minutes are up, so now they're going back into the field. And yeah, as the commentators have been saying, the key thing for both teams is to be patient. So now it's a throw-in for the Japanese, close to their box. And by that I mean the one that they are supposed to score in. And now the Dutch regain possession, and they're trying to do a fast counter attack. But then the Japanese, well, yeah, I mean the Dutch makes the ball go out of bounds, so it's a throw-in for the Japanese, and a pretty good long ball to a Japanese player. But then a Dutch coolers the ball with a header, but the Japanese regain po- but the Japanese regain possession. And yeah, they are being patient, just as the Dutch also, when they have the ball, they were also being patient. And yeah, I think that I did not say it, but if I did for the match of yesterday of Qatar versus the Swiss, I thought that the Swiss would basically thrash Qatar 4-0, but of course, if you saw the score or the match, they drew 1-1. But and the Japanese have a scoring opportunity, but then the Dutch have good auto day for a second. Let let them have space to shoot to the goal. But Ito made the ball go too high up. So now, and the ball went to the bounce, so goal kick for the Dutch. And the goalkeeper does a long ball. And the Japanese player heads it, and they regain possession, but then pass it wrongly to De Jong. De Jong. Van Dijk. Gakpo. Van Dijk. Gakpo. When a good ball into the box, but then the Japanese player clears it, but the Dutch get the ball back and they regain possession. Somerville, I believe that is Dumfries. Somerville, De Jong, Gakpo. When a Japanese player clears the ball with a header, but still, De Jong has the ball and the Dutch still have possession. Gakpo. And they do a long ball and a header from maybe Dumfries, if I'm not mistaken, but the ball goes out of bounds. So goal kick for the Japanese, in which Suzuki should kick it. Yeah, the ball is passed to him, and he does a long ball. And Dutch player has the ball, and then the Dutch regain possession and a pretty dangerous ball by Gakpo. De Jong. De Jong. Somerville. Dumfries. Van Dijk. Gakpo. Van Dijk. De Jong. Dumfries. Van Dijk. Dumfries. Van Dijk. Gakpo. And the ball goes out of bounds on the Dutch. So throw in for the Japanese. Van Dijk. And with that, the Dutch regain possession. And as the commentators are saying, some Dutch players are warming up, so some subs could come now or in the second half. Dumfries, Somerville, Van Dijk, Gakpo. Yeah, as the commentators are saying, the Dutch are for the moment dominating the Japanese. Van Dijk, De Jong, Somerville, Dumfries. But then they Dutch pull like gives the ball away to the Japanese. But then the Dutch do a fast counter attack and they caught the Japanese off guard. But then Tayanguchi, I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Who does a tackle on the ball. And so corner for the Dutch. Rounders, I believe that how you say his name. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. He's going to take the corner for the Dutch. Yeah, and the Dutch pullers they are tall and almost a goal but then a good save by Suzuki, but then they had a cross into the box, but then they had to win too high. Yep, I believe, or other corner for the Japanese. I mean, I'm sorry for the Dutch. Yeah, so goal kick for the Japanese by Suzuki. But then but then a Dutch player gets the ball back. So now they are back in possession. De Jong, Dumfries, Van Dijk, Dumfries, Somerville, and now a throw in for no a free kick for the Dutch. Rainers will take the free kick and a Dutch and Gakpo tried to shoot, but he made it go too high up. So goal kick for Suzuki or for the Japanese. Yeah, as the counters were saying that the Dutch have more taller bootleggers, so that how they can dominate on the air. So if you sorry about that guys, but if you guys are just joining, comment down below your answer to this question and what you believe is the or will be the final score for this match. And the ball went out of bounds on the Japanese, so throw in for the Dutch. And the ball went out of bounds again, but now Again, it's for the Dutch, and it's passed as most of the time to Van Dijk. De Jong, Virgil van Dijk, Van Dijk, De Jong, Van Dijk. And they do a long ball to Somerville. And they do a long pass into the box, but then the Japanese player clears the ball. And the Dutch goalkeeper gets the ball and passes it to Van Dijk. Dumfries. Van Dijk. And he passes it back to their goalkeeper. And he passes it back to Van Dijk. De Jong. Van Dijk. And yeah, I mean, as the commentators are saying, Van Dijk is the person that has touched the ball the most because I've said his name and then two more times than anyone else. And the ball went out of bounds, so now it's a throw in for the Dutch. De Jong, Van Dijk, Gakpo, Van Dijk, De Jong, Dumfries, and the Japanese player blocked the shot and it went or a pass and it went out of bounds. So Dumfries will take the throw for the Dutch. Van Dijk, Dumfries. I mean, sorry, Somerville, Dumfries, Somerville, Van Dijk, Dumfries, Van Dijk, Gakpo, Van Dijk, Dumfries, De Jong, Van Dijk. But then they give the ball away, and the Japanese are trying to do a fast counter attack. And a shot into the box, but it went out of bounds. So goal kick for the Dutch. And as always, or most of the time, Van Dijk either does the long shot or gives it, as in this case, to the goalkeeper to do it. But then the Japanese pass back to their Suzuki, and now they're back in possession. So now the Japanese are in possession. When they do a good pass, they do into the box, but when they have a good shot to take, oh, and a good save from the Dutch goalkeeper. And so now a corner for the Japanese. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's a Japanese player when they go out of bounds, but just barely, just like this, close to being in the goal, or at least a shot into the goal. So it's a goal kick for the Dutch, and the ball went to the bounce on the Dutch. So now it's a throw in for the Japanese. They pass it to a other Japanese player. I thought that they would have passed it to Suzuki. And yeah, they are saying the commentators that are in the stadium that the Japanese they are they are doing a lot more of the atmosphere, like they are cheering for their team and more. But the Dutch, they are more like they are more quiet, and they fouled a Japanese player, so a free kick for them. And they do a good ball to a player. Well, he was a shooter, and the shots went out of bounds outside of the goal. Was he offside? I don't think so. Yeah, this could have resulted in a goal if he had made the shot more like to the left, I believe it's a side. But now a goal kick for Ved Ruben or Verbruben. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name of the Dutch goalkeeper. Van Dijk, De Jong, De Jong. And so there's going to be 3 minutes of added time. And the ball went out of bounds on the Dutch, so it's a throw in for the Japanese. And now the Dutch are begin possession, but then this was a kind of physical battle. And then the Japanese and now the Dutch, and I think they gave a free kick for the Dutch. Gakpo. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. And then the shot into the box, but then it's blocked by a Japanese defender, and Van Dijk, De Jong. Somerville. Van Dijk. Gakpo. Van Dijk. De Jong. Dumfries. Somerville. And the Dutch tried to shoot, but it was blocked by the Japanese. So now corner for the Dutch. And this about final minutes of this first half. And as the commentators are saying, this might be the last play of this first half. But once again, Reunders is taking the free kick. I mean, I'm sorry, the corner. I'm sorry if I mispronounce his name. Can they score in the final seconds of this first half? We shall see. Oh, and the ball went straight to Suzuki's hands. And now the Japanese are back in possession for these final seconds. And now it's halftime. So as I can see down here, the score is 0-0. So yeah, guys. So if y'all have not watched my previous live streams for halftime, I am going to sing a halftime song called One Dream. So yeah, guys. So if if you guys are just coming in, comment down below your answer to this question and maybe how y'all think that the Japanese and the Dutch did in this first half and your prediction for this match. So right now I am going to go somewhere real quick, but I'll come back and when I come back, I'll sing the halftime song One Dream and then answer this question and some more if there's time. So I am going to come right back, so don't leave. So yeah, guys. So right now I'm just going to go and find that song. Well, I think that I already had it ready before the match started. Yeah. So now let's get started with this halftime song. Once again, it's called One Dream. Right here in the TV of Samsung, it says kitchen range preheating finished, ready to cook. I guess because the 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 oven, which is also Samsung, it's and this TV is also Samsung, so maybe that's why. Yeah, so now I'm just waiting to see if they show any stats before I start singing, but I don't think they will. But I'm gonna just see for a few more seconds, and once they go into their ad breaks, that's when I'm going to start singing. Well, or why not just now? Yeah. The world is watching, the light shines bright. One trophy, one chance, one endless fight. Heroes will rise, legends will fall. Who will stand who has seen it all? In the land of Zamba, the dreams alive. Neymar's ready, can he thrive? Vinicius Rodrigo dancing free. Will Brazil bring back the legacy? Mbappe runs like a storm unleashed. A golden crown is within his reach. France remembers the past is near. Will he be the king this year? The world is watching. History's changing. One shot, one game, the throne is waiting. Heroes are written, legends will rise. Who will stand under the golden skies? One last dance, the final stage. Cristiano fights to turn the page. A kingdom built, the legend stands. Can heave the game with gold in his hands. Lamine rises the Patrick calls. From Euros to World Cups, he conquers all. Spain's young star, the chosen one, will he shine brighter than the sun? The world is watching. History's changing. One shot, one game, the throne is waiting. Heroes are written, legends will rise. Who will stand under the golden skies? Messi's dream, he lived it once, but can he carry the weight at once? One more fight. Can he end the gold debate tonight? Bellingham's fire, Alliance pride. England marches side by side. They say it's coming home once more. Will they claim what they lost before? The world is watching. History's changing. One shot, one game, the throne is waiting. Heroes are written, legends will rise. Who will stand under the golden skies? Oh, the flags wave high. One more goal, one last try. Oh, fate is near. Will you rise or disappear? The world is watching. History's changing. One shot, one game, the throne is waiting. Heroes are written. Legends will rise. Who will stand under the golden skies? One dream, one game, one endless fight. The world will never forget this night. So, yeah, guys, so that was the halftime song. So now let's go to these questions. So I'm going to say it once again. The Netherlands and Japan have met once before on the sport's biggest stage during the group stage of the 2010 World Cup. The Dutch won that close battle 1-0, which legendary midfielder scored the game-winning goal. I'll give you guys like one minute to answer that question. Then I'll say the answer. Yeah, and the answer is Wesley Sumejder. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name. By his 53rd minute is how he helped the Dutch secure the win. Now the second question. Japan has a historic reputation for pulling off massive jaw-dropping giant slaughters. Which two European football powerhouses did Japan shock and defeat 2-1 during the 2022 World Cup group stage? So last World Cup. So I'll give you guys 1 minute to comment down below your answer to this question. And the answer is Germany and Spain. So Germany and Spain. So I am going to ask this question now, but I'm gonna say the answer when the match is ended, or maybe at the next hydration, or at the next hydration break. So, what is the traditional iconic color worn by the Netherlands national team for their home matches? Even though it does not appear on their country's official red, white, and blue flag, comment down below your answer. And as I said, at the next hydration break, or at the end of or at the end of this match, I will say the answer. I got to do this. So, yeah, probably in a few minutes, if not now, the second half will start soon. So yeah, so if y'all are just coming in, comment down comment down below your answer to this question, and what's your prediction for this match. Yeah, so maybe today was the day that I did everything so early, because I thought that maybe now they would like give. I mean, they will continue the match. But yeah. So meanwhile, if you want, comment down below any questions that you have for me for this match, or for any previous or upcoming match. But what I will say is that tomorrow I think I'll be doing 2 live streams, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's gonna be Spain versus Cabo Verde. And let's see. Spain versus Cabo Verde. And Belgium versus Egypt. So that's gonna be a other match in which I will just have to stand the whole match, and I will only have an opportunity to sit at the high version break and halftime, just like how it was for yesterday's Brazil versus Morocco. But yeah, so now the second half will start very soon, in like a minute or two. So yeah, so because the Japanese will start with the ball, I'm just going to sit down. Come on, come on, Netherlands. I know they can win this match and get the victory. And now the Dutch stole possession from the Japanese. But now a Japanese player headed the ball by. Now the Dutch are back in possession. And now Dumfries or Somerville or someone has a ball and they put it into the box, but then it wasn't enough for a player to get to it. De Jong. Van der Ven, I think that's the name. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Ma Dumfries, but then passed it to the Japanese, but then tries to give it back to another Dutch back in possession. De Jong, Dumfries. I mean Somerville, Dumfries. And now the Japanese are trying to do a fast counter attack, but the ball went out on them. So throw in for the Dutch. Van der Ven. Gakpo and a shot and went out wide in the way all the way to the other side of the field. By Bejerovic. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name. So now it'll be a throw-in for the Japanese. And they're going to do the first counter attack, but the ball went out on the Dutch. So now we throw-in for the Japanese. So now the Japanese are back in possession. But the ball went out when the Japanese player tried to head it to the teammate. So throw in for Dumfries for the Dutch. And Japanese players that long about to clear the ball, but then they did foul to a Japanese player. So free kick for the Japanese. No, actually, I'm sorry. It's a throw-in for the Japanese. And it's very long, but what that's too long, and that the Dutch goalkeeper catches it and passes it to Van de Ven. De Jong. De Jong. Van Dijk. Gakpo. And if I were to Gakpo, I believe. And Reonders will do the free kick, which is pretty close. So can the Dutch make this free kick go into the back of the net? We shall see. And the Japanese player clears it, but then De Jong gets it back. And Van Dijk scored from a header. So good job, Van Dijk. Let's see this back. Cleared, but then De Jong has it, and then was he outside? Yeah, and just like how in EA sometimes some goals of mine go to the post, but then it bounces into the net. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that Van Dijk made it. I mean, he is the probably one of the best players. So good for the Dutch that they are winning. Yeah, and as they were saying, as it was kicking off, that in the second half they'll probably be the goals. So yeah, so now the goals are only one for the Dutch, and Van Dijk made it in the 51st minute. Yeah, so Van Dijk was onside when this goal happened, so the goal stands. Van der Ven passes it to the goalkeeper. Gakpo, but then they give it away, and then Gakpo gets it back for Dumfries. Van der Ven, Dumfries, Ven, De Jong, Van Dijk, Van Dijk, Van Dijk, Van. And then but then pass it to Suzuki. to the Japanese goalkeeper. Yeah, so this is the 13th goal for the Dutch, for Van Dijk. Oh, now the Dutch have regained possession and are trying to do a fast counter attack, but then the Japanese clear the ball. De Jong. Dumfries. Van Dijk. Gakpo. Van Dijk. Van Dijk. Van Dumfries. And the Japanese are pressing, but the Dutch pass the ball back to the goalkeeper. Van Dijk. So if you guys are just comment down below, what's your score? What's your final score for this match? And once again, the only goal is for the Dutch by Van Dijk at the 51st minute. And also share this live stream to your friends who want to ask me any questions about any match or just want to see my reaction to this match or to a future match or to a future match that I might live stream or even to a past match that I already live stream. But share this live stream. So the ball went out of bounds. Let's see this replay for the house of the goal. But now it's a goal kick for Suzuki. And now Japan are back in possession. When a very good ball, but Dumfries gets to it first and passes it to the goalkeeper. And makes the ball go out of bounds, so it's a throw in for the Japanese. And to be exact, right now the minute is the 56th minute. Japan are trying to get back into the game with a draw and shoot it into the field, but then the Dutch cool little ball, but then they give back possession. And they are trying to do a pretty speedy counter attack, and they are in the box. And pass it, and then will he shoot? And he shoot it, and the Japanese have equalized by Madam Buddha. I think I use his name if I'm not mistaken. But now the final score is 1-1. Well, not the final score, but the score as of now is 1-1. So let's see that. So passing. Let's see what's on side, the goal scorer. Yeah, I think he was. What's on side? Let's see. Nakamura. Yeah, that how you say his name. I'm sorry. I'm mispronouncing it. Yeah, so now the score is 1-1. So yeah, so the goals are for the Dutch by Van Dijk at the 51st, and for Japan by Nakamura at the 57th minute. and into the box for the Dutch, in which they are trying to go to get back into the lead, but then the Japanese make the ball go out of bounds. So now once again it's a throw win for the Dutch. So to be exact, right now the minute is the 58th minute. I think once again that they have to redo the throw in because of something. Yeah, and Dumfries is doing the throw in, and he's probably going to try to do it into the box, but then the Japanese player clears it with a header, and then Van Dijk has the ball and he says it should be a corner, but let's see. Yeah, it's a corner for the Dutch. And as always, Rounders will be taking the corner. Can they score once again and get back into the lead? We shall see. Ooh, but then they give the ball to the Japanese and they're trying to get into the lead and turn the whole game back around. And they are doing it in a very fast manner to surprise the Dutch, but then they give foul or they call it a foul to Japanese players. And now it's going to be a free kick. And yeah, that's a foul because that's a kick by Somerville. Just by Crescencio Somerville. So now free kick for the Japanese. Yeah, and so yellow card for Somerville. So Kubo and Nakamura, I believe that is, if I'm not mistaken, is on the ball for the Japanese. So who will take the free kick? And can they score it to go into the lead and turn this whole game back around from losing to trying to winning? We shall see. And Kubo that's a free kick, but then the Dutch reject it and they reject the other shot. But the Japanese are still in possession. And do a long ball to Ito and it's too long, but then the gets to the ball and the Japanese come into foul to Somerville, so by Kubo, I believe, and so free kick for the Dutch. The ball went out of bounds on Japan, and then Van is doing the throwing for the Dutch. Oh no, someone else. I'm sorry. Van Dyke. Van Dyke. Van. And to and now the Dutch are attacking. I believe Van Dyke. And a shot and a goal. And now the Dutch are back in the lead. And I say who scored this goal? We shall see soon. But yeah, This is a good goal. So let's see it again by I think Van Dijk, and then he passes it to maybe like Gakpo. Maybe it was Gakpo or even Van Dijk himself. No, I think it was Somerville. Yeah, so the goal scorer has been Somerville for the Dutch's second goal. Yeah, and he's praying hopefully or doing a tribute to the dad or to his dad. So now the goals from the Dutch are Somerville 64, Van Dijk at the 51st, and from Japan by Nakamura at the 57th minute. So now the Dutch are in possession. De Jong, Van Dijk, Dumfries, Van. They pass it to the goalkeeper, then hand to Van Dijk. Van. And they are trying to get more goals so that the Japanese cannot score. And the shot is blocked. So corner for the Dutch. Yeah, and as the commentators are saying, the some Japanese players, or probably a lot, they are warming up because yeah, they see this score as like a obligatory, or like a or like doing subs as obligatory. So Maeda is going out, and Junya Ito, I believe, are it has gone in, which is the person that's played in 6 World Cups. And Japanese player tried to do a shot, but it went just right over the goal. So now it's a goal kick for the Dutch, and Van Dijk gives it to his goalkeeper. Okay, so now it's time for the high. Now it's time for the hydration break. So yeah, guys. So once again, as I said, these hydration breaks are like 3 minutes. So yeah. So meanwhile, if you have not already, comment down below. What do you think that the final score will be for this match, and your answer to this question, in which I'll answer at the end of this match. Yeah, so Van Hesh, or Van Heck, Hecke, Van Hecke, okay, Van Hecke. Okay, so now they are going back into the pitch. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say that after that Japanese sub, they have four more subs that they can use. But right now the the Dutch will do two changes on two subs. I didn't see who, so let's see. So let's see. There is showing this for now. I'm good. Okay, so Maryland, Somerville, and Rangers is being subbed out. So Maryland, Somerville, and Rangers, and Deepay, Coop Mainers, and Timber are coming in. So now they have two more two. So now they have two more subs that the Dutch can use. And the ball went out on them, so now it's the win for the Japanese, and so now they are in possession. Now the Dutch have stole the ball, but then the Japanese stole the ball to the Dutch. But then they didn't really like pay attention to when they say that they fouled Kubo, Dumfries, and Ben. Yeah, and he's hurting Kubo. So then by the loss of the match, he has to leave the field and can go in only until 1 minute after I think he's ready. Gamma Gamma Renipon. I think the other saying, which means basically in Japanese to like let's go Japan. Then De Jong and now the Dutch are back in possession. And long ball to Jap to a Dutch and he shoots and Suzuki makes it go out of bounds. So corner for the Dutch. I think that was Gakpo. Yeah. So now Memphis is going to take the corner, and it goes straight to Suzuki's hands, the Japanese goalkeeper. So now Japan are back in possession. Ito. Now the Japanese are in the box, but they're saying corner for the Japanese. after touch pull, Leo made the ball go out of bounds. So Ito was going in. I mean, yeah. So now the subs are, let's see, Watanabe, Kubo, and Dewan are going out for the Japanese, and Tomiyasu. Let's see. So can I say it again? Watanabe, Kubo, and Dewan are going out, and Tomiyasu, Ogawa, and Sugawara are going in. So now the Japanese have only one more sub. And that way, Japanese player kicks it, but it went out wide. Now, goal kick for the Dutch. I forgot to put that because I mean it's flagging and other does that Yosemite's logo or badge. So for the Dutch, the goals were from Somerville and Van Dijk at the 64th and 51 respectively, and for Japan by Nakamura at the 57th minute. Japan on the box and that's time to shoot, but then Suzuki gets the ball, the Japanese goalkeeper. And he does a long ball, in which Van heads it, then Van Dyke, then Timbers. But then Japan has regained possession. Ito. But then the ball went to the other side and out, so the ball is for the Japanese. But now they went for Ito, and once again for Ito. After the pass, and the Dutch made a ball go out. So now someone else is, I believe, is putting the ball into the box because they're trying to with the equalizer. And Japan are in possession, and it passes back to Suzuki. Ito. Ito. And then the Dutch has regained possession with Dumfries. And it passes back to the goalkeeper, and then he does a long ball. But then the Japanese have regained possession, but then that shot was blocked. So throw in for the Japanese. Ito, I believe that is, if I'm not mistaken. And now the Japanese are making a run for it, and the ball goes straight to the Dutch goalkeeper. And he passes it to De Jong, so they hope to do a fast counter-attack to Timbers. But then the Japanese regain possession and pass it back to the goalkeeper, Suzuki. Yeah, and as the commenters are saying, Japan are getting close to getting the equalizer. And the ball goes to the Dutch goalkeeper. And the ball goes out of bounds. So the statistics is that the Netherlands have 9 shots on target. I mean, no, I'm sorry. That okay. So before this, so is that the Dutch have 9 shots and the Japanese 7, but the Dutch have only 7 on target and the Japanese only 2 on target. And now the subs. Gravenberch is going out and Ake is going in for the Dutch. So as I said, so as I said, Gravenberch is going out and Ake is coming in. So now the Dutch have one more sub. And now the Japanese are in possession. But then the Dutch regain possession with the Zhong, but then they gave it back to the Japanese. And the ball goes out of bounds, so the win for the Japanese for Ito. Well, no, Sugawara, I think I'm saying name, or something like that. I'm sorry if I mispronounced or got the name wrong. And if I were a Japanese, so I believe a yellow card for a Dutch. Let's see for who. For Memphis, I believe. Yeah, for Memphis is the yellow card for fouling a Japanese player. So yeah, so for Memphis Depay, a yellow card. So now the so now for the Japanese are using their last sub. Ueda is going out and Shiogai is going in. So now the Japanese have no more subs to use. And now the Dutch after the free kick is doing a counter attack. Depay, De Jong, and now they commit foul on De Jong. Shield guy. Yeah, that's a new player that went in for the Japanese. And now the Dutch are doing a sub. Gakpo is going out and Burberry is going in for the Dutch. So now they also have no more subs. Van Dijk, Van, and then they give it to the Japanese, but then he clears the ball, so throw in for the Dutch. And it's going to be done by Depay or Dumfries, I believe. I think that was Dumfries. And the ball went out of bounds. So, and then Suzuki, the Japanese goalkeeper, catch this, so now the Japanese are back in possession. And then they make the ball go out, so they went for the Japanese. And the Japanese are back in possession. And then a shot from the Japanese is blocked by Ven, I believe. But then the Japanese regain possession and a good one to the box. But then they couldn't get to the ball, the Japanese. And then Van Dijk rejects the ball with a header, but then Japan still regaining possession. And so the goals having for the Dutch by Somerville and Van Dijk at the 64th and 51 respectively, and for the Japanese by Nakamura at the 57th minute. And they committed a foul on the Japanese, so now it's a free kick for the Japanese. Ito is going to take the free kick. I believe that's Junya Ito. And I'm doing a cross into the box, but it's rejected by Van Dijk. But the Japanese still have possession. And then the Dutch player makes the ball go out of bounds, but he's mad and arguing Van to be exact. So there's now corner for the Japanese. And the corner will be taken by Ito, I believe, yes. And to be exact, run out the minutes is the 87th minute. But the Japanese are still in possession. Oh, and then they give a good ball, but then once again it's rejected and out by Dumfries. So once again, a corner for the Japanese. And then and the Japanese have scored the equalizer. So let's see this. Yeah, just saw bouncing me from the corner. I think that they catch the Dutch off guard. And so now the So now the goals are for the Dutch by Somerville and Van Dijk at the at the 64th and 51st minute. So the goals for the Dutch are Somerville at the 64th, Van Dijk at the 51st, and for Japan, Nakamura at the and for Japan for by Nakamura at the 57th, and by so for Japan by Nakamura at the 57th minute and Kamada at the 89th minute. And the Dutch have regained possession. And they've added 6 minutes to this second half. And they gave in a yellow card to Van Deven. And it's a free kick for the Japanese. Ito. Age Ito. And then they gave the ball to the Dutch, to De Jong, and he gave the ball to the goalkeeper. Van heads the ball, and Timbers does the ball. That's a high ball. But then the Japanese pass the ball back. They pass the ball back to their goalkeeper, Suzuki. So now the Japanese are in possession. And the Japanese did a long ball, but the Dutch goalkeeper catch the ball. And he passed it to De Jong. Timbers or Timber. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name. Dumfries, Van Dijk, Timber, Van Dijk, De Jong, Dumfries, Van. No, sorry, De Jong. And that's to cross it to the box, but then the ball goes out of bounds, and it's by the Japanese defenders. So I believe it's a corner for the Japanese. No, I mean, I'm sorry, it was a goal kick by the Dutch goalkeeper. De Jong, Timber, De Jong, Dumfries. And it all comes to the box, but then the Japanese goalkeeper Suzuki catches the ball. And he does a long ball. And he makes the ball go out of bounds, so now it's a throw in for the Dutch. Van Dijk, Timber, no, Ake. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for saying it wrongly. Van Dijk. Van, De Jong, Van Dijk, Ake, Van Dijk, Van, Van Dijk, Ake, Van Dijk, and then a long ball to Dumfries. And then the Japanese player tries to clear it, and they clear it. But then De Jong gets the ball and passes it to the goalkeeper. Van Dijk, De Jong. But then a Japanese player head rejects the ball with a header. And now the Dutch are back in possession. And they do a ball into the middle of the box, but the ball goes too far. But then a Dutch player gets to the ball, and they're in the box deep, but then they lose possession, and the Japanese stole the ball. Ito, Junior Ito. And now the match has ended. So as I can see right here, the final score is a 2-2 draw. So the goals by the Dutch are by Somerville at the 64th and Van Dijk at the 51st. And then, okay, so the goals for this match by the Dutch are at the 64th by Somerville and at the 51st by Van Dijk, and for Japan by Nakamura at the 57th and at the 89th by Kamada. So yeah, guys. So I'm just going to go and get a. I'm just going to go and get a water real quick, but then I'm gonna come back. So don't leave. Okay, guys. So yeah, so I think that first half, as many of you would probably say, is that it wasn't very good because I mean it's good that they were trying to be careful and to not concede, but yeah. And as they said in this second half that it will be like more exciting. But yeah, so tomorrow I will live stream, as I said, Spain versus Cabo Verde at 11 a.m. and then at 1 or 2 p.m. I'll be live streaming. I forgot the countries. Belgium versus Egypt. So yeah, so now let's answer these questions. So comment down below your answer to this question. And no, before I say again, my prediction was that the Dutch would win 3-2-1, but that wasn't the score. So yeah. That that that's that that is what I believe I my prediction was. But okay. So what is the traditional iconic color worn by the net what is the traditional iconic color worn by the Netherlands national team for their home matches? Even though it does not appear on their country's official red, white, and blue flag. Comment down below your answer, and I'll give you guys like a minute to answer. And yeah, and the man of the match of this match would be Van Dyke because he scored the first goal of this match. And the answer is orange, or how they say it in Dutch. I I believe it said or or orange, orange, orange. Yeah, yeah, I think that's how you say it, or something like that. But I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. So now to the last question. What is the official what is the official bird inspired symbol and nickname of the Japan national football team? Famously fe- famously featured on their team ba- famously featured on their team badges. I'll give you guys like a minute to answer that question and comment down below your answer. And the answer is the samurai blue or the, let's see, so the answer is the samurai blue or the yatagarusu slash three-legged crow. So yeah, so
¿Cuál? Le cambian todavía una o las dos, porque además una. Está bien, ¿no? Sí, me lo voy a decir. Ya lo voy a revisar.
So yeah, guys. So I'm sorry about that, but yeah, the answer to that question was the samurai blue or the yatagarasu. I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Or the three-legged crow. Yatagarasu. 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 But yeah, guys. So yeah, so once again for the last time, I will say that tomorrow at 11 a.m. CST, I'll be live streaming Spain versus Cabo Verde, and then I like two no I like 1 or 2. I'll be live streaming Belgium versus Egypt. So 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 please pray for my brother and sister because well I know that it's official for my sister that it comes and goes, but you know that she doesn't have any stomach ache or anything, and for my brother in which he's acting as if maybe he's sick from his stomach too, but who but please pray that my sister gets better and that my brother is not sick or that he gets better as soon as possible, and that no one else gets it, and that this is not contagious, and that's all be all right. So yeah, guys. So please pray for all those things. May God bless you all, and hopefully I can see you guys in at least one, if not two, of tomorrow's live streams. Bye.